In the quiet birth of a silver dawn, love opened its eyes without a sound, like a secret whispered to the wind, like a heartbeat newly found. It walked barefoot across the sky, carrying dreams in fragile hands, searching for a soul to meet beyond the rivers and the sands. The world was young in love's first gaze. Every shadow held a light. Every silence spoke a promise hidden softly in the night. Love began as a simple smile, a glance that stayed too long, a trembling voice between two hearts, a shy and sacred song. It traveled through forgotten streets, where lonely lanterns burned, teaching hearts that feared the dark how hope could be returned. Step by step, the journey grew, through laughter warm and bright, through conversations under stars that stretched across the night. Two souls met by destiny's hand, unaware of fate's design. Yet something ancient pulled them close, a force both strange and divine. Eyes spoke words lips could not say. Time slowed its hurried pace, and love wrote poetry in silence across each waiting face. The journey started gently then, like rain upon dry earth, awakening hidden gardens to their long-forgotten birth. Promises floated in the air, soft as feathers falling slow. Neither knew how deep the path was destined yet to go. Love painted colors on dull days, turned ordinary into gold, made timid hearts courageous, made the fearful suddenly bold. They walked beside uncertain roads, holding dreams like fragile glass, believing every moment shared was made forever to last. Morning carried hopeful songs, evening wrapped them tight, and every goodbye felt lighter with tomorrow still in sight. Love learned the language of touch, of fingers gently tied, of silent comfort offered when hidden tears were cried. The moon became their witness, the stars their secret guide, and every wish they whispered the universe would hide. Yet journeys never stay the same. No road remains so clear, for love must walk through storms as well to conquer doubt and fear. Clouds gathered far beyond the hills, though skies were painted blue, for every love that learns to rise must learn to suffer too. Questions bloomed like restless flames, unspoken yet alive, testing if two fragile hearts were strong enough to survive. Still love walked forward bravely, refusing to retreat, believing every broken stone made destiny complete or complete. Hands held tighter than before, eyes searched deeper still, for love is not a passing breeze but an unyielding will. The road curved into mystery, unknown horizons wide, and hope became their compass with faith walking beside. They laughed beneath the falling rain, danced where worries slept, not knowing fate was counting every promise they had kept. Love built a home in simple things, shared silence, gentle care, a world created quietly whenever they were there. Time flowed like a patient river, carrying moments away, yet every second felt eternal within love's endless day. The journey had just started then, its story still untold, a path of fire and healing more precious far than gold. For love is not a rival, nor a destination known. It is the endless walking where two hearts grow as one, and somewhere beyond tomorrow, past joy and hidden pain, love prepared its travelers for loss and hope again. So step by step they wandered, through seasons yet unseen, writing chapters of forever in spaces in between. The wind whispered softly behind them, "Keep walking, do not fear." For every road love chooses makes distant souls draw near. Thus began the journey, tender, wild, and free, a story written endlessly across eternity. The morning came with quieter light, as if the sun had learned their names. It watched them walk the winding road through hope, through doubts, through flames. Love grew older day by day, not weaker, only wise, reading truths in silent pauses hidden in each other's eyes. They learned the weight of simple words, how stay could heal a scar, how sorry built a fragile bridge across wounds stretched too far. Seasons turned their painted wheels, spring softened every fear, while summer filled their wandering hearts with reasons to stay near. They spoke of dreams beneath the trees, of futures yet unknown, imagining a shared tomorrow they would someday call their own. But love is more than golden hours, more than laughter's sound. It tests the soul in lonely nights when no comfort can be found. A silence came between their steps, not cruel, yet sharp and cold. like autumn leaves that gently fall when stories grow too old. Misunderstandings slowly grew like shadows before dusk, turning certainty uncertain, turning trust into a husk. Words once warm became unsure, glances turned away, and love began to wonder if hearts were meant to stay. Yet even in confusion's storm a fragile flame survived, for true affection never fades while hope remains alive. They walked apart for many days, each carrying hidden pain, learning how absence teaches love what presence cannot explain. The nights felt longer than before, stars distant, faint, and shy. Questions echoed endlessly across the empty sky. Love wrote letters in the wind, unsent yet deeply true, every breath a quiet wish to begin again anew. Memories returned like waves, soft but strong and deep, reminding hearts of promises they were too afraid to keep. One evening under silver rain, their paths crossed once again. Eyes met slowly, trembling still, familiar through the pain. No grand speeches filled the air, no perfect words were said. Only truth stood quietly where pride had once been fed. Hands reached forward carefully, unsure yet full of grace, and forgiveness bloomed between them like dawn on a wounded place. Love changed shape that fragile night, no longer young and blind, but stronger through its breaking, more patient and more kind. They learned that hearts are human, that flaws are part of art, for love is not perfection, it is choosing every part. The road ahead felt different now, less certain, yet more real, because love that survives a storm learns deeply how to heal. They walked again, but slower, listening as they went, understanding silence held meanings words never meant. Winter came with quiet snow, covering past mistakes, teaching them that endings are sometimes what love takes. Together by a fire's glow, they shared their hidden fears and melted frozen distances built across the years. Love became a steady flame, not wild like at the start, but warm enough to guide the way through every fragile heart. They found beauty in ordinary days, in tea shared late at night, in gentle smiles exchanged before sleep closed their sight. The journey deepened endlessly, each step a sacred art, for love was no longer a dream, it had become their heart. And though the road stretched far ahead, unwritten and unclear, they walked with quiet courage now, no longer ruled by fear. For love had taught its travelers through sorrow and delight that every dawn worth reaching must first survive the night. The wind once more whispered softly, carrying truth above. The longest roads are beautiful when walked in faithful love. So onward moved their story, through time's eternal sea, two souls learning slowly what forever meant to be. Beyond the calm of healing days, a restless horizon grew, for every love that finds its peace must face a trial anew. The skies turned gray without a sound, the air felt strangely still, as if the world itself prepared to test the human will. They walked through crowds yet felt alone, each lost in private thought, wondering if forever's promise could truly not be bought. Responsibilities called their names, dreams pulled separate ways, life unfolded complicated paths beyond romantic days. Distance came not from the heart but from the weight of time, from duties carved by circumstance and clocks that would not chime. Letters replaced whispered talks, memories replaced touch, and both began to understand why longing hurts so much. The moon became their meeting place, though miles lay in between, two souls staring at the same sky sharing what could not be seen. Love learned patience painfully, counting nights apart, holding hope like fragile glass inside a trembling heart. Jealous doubts like shadows crept, soft but cold and near, as imagination whispered lies born only out of fear. "Do you still remember me?" each silently would ask, while smiling through the daily roles behind a careful mask. Yet love refused surrender still, though tested every day, for roots grown deep in honesty do not just fade away. One night filled with endless rain, when loneliness felt loud, they spoke their fears without disguise, no longer hidden, proud. Truth arrived with trembling breath, but honesty brought light, for hearts grow closer when they dare to show their fragile fight. Tears became a sacred bridge, not weakness but release, washing away misunderstandings and returning inner peace. They realized love must be chosen again and yet again, not only in joyful moments but also through the pain. The storm outside began to fade, morning slowly rose, and hope returned like gentle warmth only true love knows. Distance no longer felt like loss, but proof their bond was strong, for even far apart they knew where both hearts belonged. The journey changed its rhythm then, less hurried, more aware, each moment valued deeply because the other cared. They celebrated small victories, a message, laugh, or call, discovering love's greatest strength lives in the smallest all. Time passed like a silent tide, shaping who they'd be, turning passion into devotion as vast as any sea. They dreamed again of meeting soon, of walking side by side, of closing every distance left with nothing left to hide. And when at last that day arrived, the world felt newly born, like sunlight breaking triumphantly through clouds once dark and worn. Their embrace held every mile, every tear once cried, every doubt that tried to break the love they held inside. No words were needed anymore. Silence said it all, for hearts that truly understand no longer fear the fall. The journey moved to deeper ground, where love became a choice, a steady vow repeated in action, not just voice. They knew now storms would come again, as life forever moves, but love survives not by perfection, only by what it proves. So hand in hand they faced ahead, no illusion left above, only truth, imperfect yet strong, the living shape of love. And somewhere destiny smiled softly, watching from afar, for two hearts had learned together how resilient lovers are. The road stretched onward endlessly, its lessons still to prove, for love's true journey never ends. It only learns to move. After storms had carved their marks, a gentler chapter came, where peace arrived like evening light and love no longer chased fame. They learned the beauty of routine, of mornings calm and slow, where shared silence felt richer than words they used to know. Sunrise entered through their window, painting gold on sleepy eyes, and happiness lived quietly without disguise. They walked through markets hand in hand, among the ordinary crowd, finding magic in simple days that needed nothing loud. Love no longer rushed ahead, nor feared what lay behind. It rested in the present hour, content, awake, aligned. Seasons turned with softer grace. Spring returned once more. Flowers bloomed like promises they had been waiting for. They planted dreams like tiny seeds, watered them with care, believing patience grows miracles when two hearts truly share. Laughter filled their evening rooms, echoing warm and free, proof that joy becomes deeper when shaped by memory. They spoke of childhood, distant years, of wounds once left unseen, and healed each other gently in spaces in between. Love became a safe harbor, a place to simply rest, where neither needed perfection to feel completely blessed. Yet life continued changing still, as time will always do, bringing questions of tomorrow into their hopeful view. Dreams demanded sacrifice, paths required decisions, and love stood at a crossroads between two visions. Should they chase uncertain stars or build a grounded home? Should freedom guide their footsteps or roots forbid them roam? Long nights filled with quiet talks, maps spread across the floor, searching not for easy answers but meaning at the core. They learned that love is partnership, not victory of one, but blending separate journeys until both paths are one. So choices made together felt lighter to endure, for shared burdens become gentle when intentions remain pure. A home was built from laughter, not merely walls and stone, a place where every weakness was never faced alone. Rain tapped softly on the roof, while stories filled the air, and every storm outside confirmed the warmth they sheltered there. Years began to move more fast, as moments often do, yet every passing season made their bond feel new. Love matured into kindness, into patience calm and deep, into promises awakened even while asleep. They no longer feared the future, nor clung to yesterday, for love had taught acceptance of life's unfolding way. Wrinkles formed beside their smiles, proof of time's embrace, each line a written memory no sorrow could erase. They danced sometimes without music, simply for delight, laughing like the younger selves they carried still inside. And when the world felt heavy, when hope seemed far above, they found their strength returning in the quiet power of love. The journey felt less distant now, yet deeper than before, for love kept opening endlessly another hidden door. They understood at last one truth no poet can fully prove. Love is not a destination, it is the act to move. And so they walked together still, through twilight's tender hue, knowing every ending creates a beginning new. Even as seasons wove their threads, and age drew lines on skin, the journey of their love persisted with quiet strength within. Shadows came, as shadows do, not cruel, but inevitable, testing patience, testing faith, demanding hearts be able. Illness touched one trembling hand, loss whispered soft and near, and both discovered courage they had never known before. Nights stretched long with worry, days crept slow and gray, yet love became their anchor through every fragile sway. They learned that touch can heal where words can never reach, that simple presence often speaks more clearly than speech. Memories now crowded rooms, photographs lined walls, each one a quiet testament to love that never falls. They argued sometimes gently over trivial affairs, yet even in disagreement they found each other there. For time had taught a patient truth. No love escapes the years, but hearts that choose to weather storms can triumph over fears. Evenings brought reflective calm, windows open to the night, and stars, like old companions, witnessed every fight. Stories of their youth were told with laughter and some tears, binding past and present through the tapestry of years. Traveling roads they never saw, through cities, forests, seas, each step together taught them the meaning of love's ease. And when silence fell between them, it was never heavy, bleak, but soft as feathers drifting down. Comfort they did not seek. Their love became a quiet force, steady as the tide, a truth no storm could scatter, a warmth that would not hide. They built traditions, small and dear, simple acts of care. Morning coffee shared in smiles, evening prayers whispered there. Even in life's quietest corners, love left its radiant trace, showing two entwined souls the sacredness of space. Trials came not to destroy, but to deepen what was sown, to show that hearts who choose to stay are never truly alone. Children grew and left the nest, leaving echoes of their cheer, yet love remained, unwavering, its essence crystal clear. They walked through empty rooms at dusk, hands entwined as before, speaking not of fleeting years, but of the journey's core. For love had become a language, older